Ah, sweet. Impreza rims, good tyres, nice. Mother. Guys, it's no secret that buying stuff off Marketplace and Gumtree is the worst. You meet the weirdest people, and buying cheap car parts, you meet the weirdest of the weird. Now and again, you meet a good person, but 99% of the time, they're all just whack jobs. Especially with all this cheap Subaru stuff, I'm meeting some very interesting people over the past 2 weeks. I've had multiple conversations with different people, and they're like, yeah, the rims are here, come down. And then I'm just about to get in the car, no, they're sold. Or just all sorts of stuff, like just no replies at all. Like they're trying to sell stuff. Is this available? Yes. Can I come and get it? Nothing. No reply at all. It's the fun and games of this little adventure. Now, I've got some rims. I've actually got 2 sets of rims. So we'll just move these things out the way. I got these guys. So these are older Impreza rims. I think they're actually WX rims. Now, I got these very cheap for $100 with the tires. Unfortunately, none of the tires, oh, calm down. None of the tires match. They're all different brands. And they need resealing. Like the beads are all a bit funky and everything. I could persist with these and I could fix them up, but honestly, I just want to get this car going and I don't have time, so I'm going to slap them back on Gumtree for the same sort of price. The kid I bought these from was super interesting. He gave me an address, I rocked up and I'm like, I tried to ring him, wouldn't answer. I sent him a text, I'm like, dude, where are you? Like, seriously, he was like 20 minutes down the road. And he goes, oh, that's not my house. Come around the corner. And he gives out a fake house address so people come there and then go, where are you? And then he gives his real address. I don't know. Anyway, I went around there. He's got about 10 cars in the yard, all sorts of stuff, some really nice cars actually. And his backyard is just full of car parts. He rocks up, little short dude with no shirt on. He was an interesting dude. Anyway, so I got those rims for him. Unfortunately, I'm not going to persist with them. Then I messaged a guy called Tom. Tom was one of the rare unicorns of Marketplace who is actually a good dude. He messaged me and said, yeah, man, come down. I went down there, nice dude, and he had these. So these are 16-inch Impreza rims, and they are great. The best part is they have some good quality Dunlop tires that have heaps of meat on them. You can see the depth here, like chunky as. I think these bottom 2 must have been the fronts because they're worn slightly more, but hardly. The only damage we've got on the rims is this one. Has got some pretty gnarly gutter rash on 2 of the spokes and around the outside. Our friend Tom didn't do that. Unfortunately, that were like that when he got the car. He's upgraded to 17, so he sold these off. Now, I got these for $190, and I reckon that's a pretty good deal considering they've got good tyres on them and they're in pretty good condition. They're round, they're great. The center caps need painting because that happens with pretty much most cars, but I think I'm going to paint the whole lot. I did get some cool paint, if I can find it, amongst my delicious rack of paints here. No, it's in here somewhere. Here we go. Yes. I got this graphite paint, which I reckon is pretty cool. I've always sort of wanted to go grey on a set of wheels, so I'm going to give that a go. But we're not going to do that right now. I just want to get the wheels on the car because I'm sick of seeing it looking gross in the driveway. So we're going to put these on first, see how they look. Cool, we are at Jolly's You Pull It Auto, whatever, in Geelong. I'd never been to this place. It's rad. The guys are really nice too. And we found ourselves a black Bug-Eye Rex. It's got the front end wrecked. Funnily enough, I opened the doors, no door cards. I was like, bummer. And then they were just sitting on the ground and they're both in good condition for the front doors. Got a couple of marks on them, but they're really good. The other cool thing is in the boot, we've got the little bits that we've been missing off some of these clips and things. So I'm going to get all these bits off and take those. Unfortunately, no cargo blind, but I'm going to go through this car and see if there's anything else that strikes our fancy. I think I need that one too. Awesome. So gang, we're back. Let's have a look at our haul from today. I should probably do some explaining. I'm going to do some explaining about the fact that I have a lathe and bench drill and all that sort of stuff. We'll get to that later. That's a story for another time. But for now, I got a lot of these little things that I'm missing. So little clips, all these little plastic bits that I was missing. That's actually the proper thing for the spare wheel to be held in. Here we've got ourselves a new clock, which is pretty cool. The other little clip for the ISOFIX for the baby seat, which was missing. A couple of these big clips for in the boots. We've also got our front door cards on both sides, which is very cool, and this piece in the back, which just needs a vacuum, but it's actually in really good nick. And I've got the clips to hold it in, and my one is missing that, so very cool. Let's go put him in the car. Okay, I've given this door card a clean up, and hard to see, but we don't have any of this sort of junk, so it's much cleaner. I haven't even given it an arm roll yet. The only thing I'm worried about is this didn't come with any clips, and I think the clips on this might be broken. We'll find out. Let's swap it out. Cool, new passenger door card is on and looks fantastic, very stoked. Now for the clock. Oh god, I dropped something. So I don't know if the clock's buggered at the clock part or down the line, but this was $5, so I'm going to put it in. It's one cable, 2 connectors, see if it works, fingers crossed. Oh, well I'm definitely replacing it now. Well, we're definitely replacing that now. Yeah. We have a working clock. Oh my god, you guys didn't see that. Trust me, there's a working clock in there. That's good. I can't believe how hard that was to get out. Look at this. That's ridiculous. I've never had a trim piece that difficult. And even that, I had to cut that clip out. I don't think that edge piece is supposed to be on there. Anyway, whatever. It's done now. Let's put it back in and hopefully not break this one because I need this one. Nice. So we've already pretty much done a video about the interior of this car. It's almost done. We're just going to replace. I've got that new panel over there. This one here. So we're going to replace that. And that. I got that little piece of carpet for there. Yes. And a bunch of little plugs and things like that. I don't need to film that, it's the boot, it's pretty boring, so I'm just going to get all that done and then we can move on to the next thing. Oh, one cool thing I did find is the original tools from the kit in that Impreza. So I can add it to our little toolkit here, and we've got somewhat of a toolkit for the back of the car. That's nice. So I'm very excited to be changing these wheels over. Something's been annoying me since I've had this car, obviously. But something else we're going to find out is what the damage is happening inside the wheels. We're making noise and things like that. Could be bearings, could be drive shafts, could be all sorts. You know, this is the risk you take with a very cheap car. So we'll pop the wheel off and we'll check it all out. Okay, so I reckon the front shocks are leaking, which sucks. Hopefully I can give them a bit of a clean and they'll pass roadworthy. Because God knows how old that is. The drive shafts look good. The power steering boots are shagged, but we knew about that. So we can replace those. Brakes don't look too bad. One thing that happens with the Suby is this is a floating pin caliper, so I'm going to undo them and re-grease the pins, and hopefully that'll sort them out, because the disc itself isn't too bad. It doesn't have much of a lip on it, and the pads look fairly chunky, so I think we'll re-grease the caliper and see how it goes after that. So the pads are actually super duper chunky, which is great. They're not that old. A bit of rust on it because they haven't been used, but I think we're good for pads. I don't know what brand they are. They're red. Red must be good. Okay, I just pulled the pins out, and the pins actually look pretty good. They're nicely greased. I'd say there's more noise coming out the back. I'd say the back probably needs some looking at. I'll give them a clean up, bit of re-grease, and they're good to go. Okay, no more space saver. Nice. The rear shocks look good. Doesn't look like they're leaking at all, so I might be able to get away with just replacing the fronts when I need to. We'll just have a look at these brakes and just see if they're floating and see if there's anything else around here that's untoward. Alrighty, so the rear pads are pretty close to shot. Not all the way down yet, but we'll put some new ones in. The disc is not bad. It's got a bit of a lip on it. I'll see how much a set I might put a new set on. Everything else looks okay. Drive shaft boots don't look like they're leaking. They're old, but you know, it's an old car. Tiny little baby caliper on the back. How far that piston is in shows how shagged those pads are. So we'll get some new rear brake pads. But for now, we're going to put the wheel on while I order them, so we can push it out. Nice. They're not as flash as the old 18s, but they definitely look better, and they're going to work. Remember, this is a daily driver, not a race car, so pretty stoked. Give it a lick of paint and they'll be good. So one of the other things I want to do while I'm here, which I will forget if I don't do it, is fuel treatment. So our friends at Redline gave us, this is the SI1 fuel treatment. So it's basically gonna, it does a couple of things. So it'll clean out all the injectors, all the gunk out of there, because there's probably a heap of gunk. Also pretty much the whole induction track going in past the valves, cleans the valves. Who knows how filthy it is in that engine. The other thing it does is it also stops the fuel going off. So we probably won't be driving this car for a few more weeks. And God knows how old the fuel is, it actually helps keep the fuel from going bad. So we're gonna put that sucker in there and get this guy clean out. Woo. Done. 4 new wheels. These old ones are so shagged. Check this out. Like, not only is it scratched to pieces, it's actually got chunks out the tyre, and the back of it's actually exploding. So that is one shag tyre, but it's got 2 semi-decent ones. I reckon for burnout wheels or for drifting, somebody could take those as rear wheels. They've got another set, it's perfect. So I'll stick them on Gumtree. $50 for the 3, see if anybody wants them. Try and make some money. Now, I've just gone through all the bits on here. Mechanically, we don't seem too many issues. There's a lot of grease around the CV joint boot on this, but I just went through and there's absolutely no cracks in it. So I have no idea what's going on there. It looks like it's all sealed up. It's very strange. This shock's not leaking, which is cool. So we've only got the one leaky shock. I'll get back to you on that one. We will flush all the brake lines. I do need to replace the back brakes, so I'll replace the pads and maybe the discs if they're cheap. The fronts are fine, so we'll leave those for now, which is good. It's going to save us some money. Now, one of the big mechanical issues on this car, which we pointed out on the first video, is this exhaust. Now, hopefully you guys can get a bit more of a look at it. Now, the car's jacked up. So, ghetto pipe, and look at this welding. It's even got a bit of welding rod still stuck to it. It's so terrible. So terrible. Now herein lies the problem with our exhaust. This is my own fault, and I should have thought about this. I knew this, but I didn't think about it when I bought the car. Exhausts aren't cheap. From the cat back, they're cheap because it's just piping. But if you're including the cats, they're expensive. Catalytic converters actually have silver, they have precious metals in them. And if you've ever gone to a wrecker and you look under the car, all the cats are missing because the wreckers cut them straight out and they sell them off for the precious metals. You can get like $300 per cat selling them off for scrap metal. So every time I rang around to Bend Exhaust, no one had them with cats. They can give you the cat back, but nobody wants to sell the cats. So I did find 3 separate wreckers. All of them wanted $800 for the cats and the system back. Like, holy cow, this is getting ridiculous and expensive. I was a bit dismayed because I'm like, okay, this car's now not as cheap as I thought. But then I remembered our friend Dan at Import Nation. So I used to buy parts from Dan, the Sora guy, as I knew him back then, back when he was working out of his house. He had a couple of Soras. He's got a beautiful Sora that's all done up now. He showed me photos of it. But his business developed over the years, and I'm talking over sort of 10, 15 years, and he's now got a really great business in Braeside called Import Nation, and he's got all sorts of stuff in there. Anyway, so I sent him a message, and I've gone, hey man, I'm looking for this. He goes, oh, I just got one in. And he actually had a Bug-Eye sedan up on the hoist. And I'm like, oh, I need the exhaust and the cats. He goes, yeah, that's cool. I'm like, how much? He goes, $120. No way, what a legend. So I went over there, I had a chat to him about everything, and he just goes, oh man, that's really cool that you're saving that car, and I understand you don't want to drive the Sora on the road anymore. He goes, $100. So Dan, you're an absolute legend, and I just got a full exhaust with the cats, because there's 2 cats in this system, for $100. So I'm very grateful to Dan. Thank you very much for your support. Also, we got a driver's side seatbelt, because the seatbelt doesn't retract very well, and I think it might be a roadworthy issue and a safety issue. So he's actually pulling the seatbelt out of that car too, and he's posting it to me because it wasn't out yet and I couldn't hang around. So awesome. Thank you very much, Dan from Import Nation. Go see him for parts. He is an absolute gun. And so in the boot of this car, ta-da, we have our new exhaust system. So it's the full thing. So we've got our 2 cats there, our mid pipe with a resonator, and we've got our muffler, and it's actually an aftermarket X-Force muffler with some really nice chrome tips. So I am very excited about that. This is cool. What I might do is I'm going to get it out. I might give it a quick spray with some flameproof paint just on these bits that are starting to rust. I'll give them a wire brush on the cleanup, give them a quick spray, and then we can put the exhaust on while the car's in the air. Let's do it. For you dads out there watching, thinking, how do I get to work on my car? Well, that's my kid there. I've got the baby monitor in the garage with the volume turned up, so if she starts squawking, I can hear her. Dad life. There we go. I gave him a bit of a spray of some silver. I don't know if it's going to do anything, but it makes me feel better, so that's cool. Let it dry, flip them over, we'll give them another go. While we're doing that, we're going to get this old exhaust out. Boo, Dad duty calls, it's awake, I'm gonna have to go. Finish this exhaust later. Real quick trip back to pick apart, and I've got myself, we're back at the old RX, and I've got myself RX badges and present all-wheel drive badges, and I'll explain why in a minute. Also, I need this little bracket here for the child seat, because I'm dad now and all that stuff. And I'm also going to whip the knock sensor out, because I think the knock sensor might have issues in my car, so we'll take it as a spare. Sweet, the other part we came for is a replacement driver's side front strut, as mine is leaking, so this will get us through roadworthy. That was a real bitch to get out, but it's out. Sorry guys, this video is a mess. I promise the next one will be much more coherent. I've been all over the place because we've had, we did the GI Yaris review and we've been to the racetrack and all sorts, and this has been kind of done in between. Anyway, doesn't matter. We were interrupted, so now we're going to jack it up and we're going to try and get this exhaust off. It's seized on there real good, so we're going to try a bit of heat on there, and if that doesn't work, I'm just going to get the grinder out. Let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, experience the pure ghetto-ness of this exhaust. Oh, look at that well, just a thing of beauty. Done, so now we'll get the rest of this off. Half of these mounts and everything weren't even on properly. Absolute mess, so we'll get it unbolted. I think I can just get it off the back mounts and it'll fall right off. it's out. Look at this, just beautiful. All right, new one going in. As you can tell by my face, that was a bit of an ordeal. Getting the bolts done up on the front with the proper big exhaust was a pain in the ass. It's like one flat at a time. So I've got it all done up now. New exhaust looks schmick. It's really cool, and it looks great at the back actually. It's got the dual X-Force chrome tip thing. It's awesome. So yeah, it's pretty good. That's all done. Thank God. Yes, bit of a, well, hi, can't even film. Bit of a junky video, that one. The next one I promise will be a lot better. We're gonna do a full blitz on this car and get it all serviced up. So thanks for watching. Check back the next episode and we're gonna get this thing pretty much on the road. So I just wanted an exhaust for this car, but I've accidentally bought a sports exhaust. It actually sounds rad. Unexpected. Let's give it a rev.